boys and girls, I am teacher Melinda Hughes, and today for grade 5 social studies, we will do quiz, question and answers. In this segment, we will do 15 multiple choice questions, and these questions are based on topics that we would have covered in social studies for grade 5. So boys and girls, get your quiz book because it is quiz time, question and answer time, where together we will have fun. And I say fun because the answer is right in front of you. Yes, boys and girls, in multiple choice questions, you have the question, and then for some good reason, the answer is normally provided. The answer is right there. All you have to do is read carefully or listen carefully, and then you choose your answer. So, as you get your book, let's get going. Remember, 15 questions. So you number 1 to 15 in your margin, and for each question, you will write the letter that you think has the correct answer for the particular question. And one word of caution as I remind you, honesty is the best policy. So do not be unfair. Do not ask anyone. Or please, don't even look into your book. This is between you and honesty. So let's get going. Question 1. Which of these rivers forms a boundary between Guyana and her immediate western neighbor? Which of these rivers forms a boundary between Guyana and her immediate western neighbor? A, B, C, or D? Question 2. Caracas is to Venezuela as Montevideo is to? Caracas is to Venezuela as Montevideo is to? A, B, C, or D? Question 3. Vredenhoop is to Dutch as Catamargo is to? Vredenhoop is to Dutch as Catamargo is to? A, B, C, or D? Question 4. Amerindians believe in all of the following except. Amerindians believe in all of the following except. A, B, C, or D? Question 5. Which monument reminds us of the Dutch occupation in Berbice? Which monument reminds us of the Dutch occupation in Berbice? A, B, C, or D? Question 6. The second highest national award in Guyana is the? The second highest national award in Guyana is the? A, B, C, or D? Question 7. The main activity in the Bartica Triangle area is? The main activity in the Bartica Triangle area is? A, B, C, or D? Question 8. If my uncle is a pork knocker, he is most likely working. If my uncle is a pork knocker, he is most likely working A, B, C, or D. Study the map of Guyana below, then answer questions 9 and 10. So you study the map. Question 9. To travel to the town at A, you have to use the something highway. To travel to the town at A, you have to use the something highway. A, B, C, or D. And question 10 is also based on the map. The mountain range shown is, that's question 10. The mountain range shown is A, B, C, or D. Question 11. The average weather conditions of a place over a long period of time is called the average weather conditions of a place over a long period of time is called the A, B, C, or D. Question 12. One of the rainy seasons in Guyana usually lasts from One of the rainy seasons in Guyana usually lasts from A, B, C, or D. Question 13. Study the caption below, then answer question 13. The caption reads, "Workers are important. Workers are important." Which of the following persons could best improve the health standard of a community? Which of the following persons could best improve the health standard of a community? A, B, C, or D? Question 14. A city or district council has all of the following duties except. A city or district council has all of the following duties except. A, B, C, or D? And our final question is question 15. One organization concerned with communication in the Caribbean region is the One organization concerned with communication in the Caribbean region is the A, B, C, or D? Write the letter that you think has the correct answer for question 15. And so And so, boys and girls, this has brought us to the end of this segment of multiple choice questions. Of course, it's time for your reward. So we will mark together. Remember, as we mark together, you will mark only the answers that are correct. If for some reason you did not get one question or two correct, that's fine. That's all right. You can do better next time. And if perchance you did not know the answer for one of the questions, that's all right, boys and girls. All you need to do is pay a little more attention to your work. Remember, do not change your answer or do not write in an answer if you did not have one. So let's be honest and remember to be fair to yourself. Let's mark. Question 1. Which of these rivers forms a boundary between Guyana and her immediate western neighbor? A. Takatu, B. Corentyne, C. Amakura, D. Irene. The answer is C, the Amakura River. The Amakura River forms the boundary between Guyana and her immediate western neighbor, which is Venezuela. Question 2. Caracas is to Venezuela as Montevideo is to A. Paraguay, B. Argentina, C. Uruguay, or D. Bolivia. The answer to question 2 is C. Uruguay. The capital of Uruguay is Montevideo. Of course, Caracas is the capital of Venezuela. Question 3. Vredenhoop is to Dutch as Catamargo is to A. English, B. French, C. Amerindian, or D. Portuguese. The answer to question 3 is French. Question 4. Amerindians believe in all of the following except A. Mycock, B. Voodoo, C. Canaima, or D. Macanama. The answer to question 4 is B. Voodoo. All the others, Mycock, Canaima, and Macanama, are beliefs of the Amerindians. So when it says except, it means one is different. Question 5. Which monument reminds us of the Dutch occupation in Berbice? A. Fort Kuykoverall, B. Fort Nassau, C. Damon's Cross, or D. the statue of Hubert Nathaniel. The answer to question 5 is B. Fort Nassau. Fort Nassau reminds us of the Dutch occupation in Berbice. Question 6. The second highest national award in Guyana is the A. Order of Excellence, B. Cacique Crown of Honor, C. Order of Roraima, or D. Order of Service. The answer to question 6 is C. Order of Roraima. That's the second highest national award. And boys and girls, do you know which is the highest? Yes, it is the Order of Excellence. And the third highest national award is the Order of Service. In the Order of Service, there are 3 grades. And then there are national awards that fit those who belong to the military. Those are the Military Service Star and the Military Service Medal. Then we have those that are given to police officers or prison officers or those who do firefighting. Those are called the Disciplinary Service Stars. So boys and girls, those are the national awards of Guyana. But for this question, the second highest is at the letter C, the Order of Roraima. Question 7. The main activity in the Bartica Triangle area is A. Cattle ranching, B. Timber production, C. Sugar production, or C. Rice production. Of course, boys and girls, the answer for question 7 is B, because the Bartica Triangle is that area that is found within the forested highland region where Guyana's forest wealth is dense. And so, timber production is the main economic activity there. Question 8. If my uncle is a pork knocker, he is most likely working A. on the low coastal plain, B. in the highland region, C, in the hilly sand and clay region, or D, in the Rupununi savannas? The answer to question 8 is B, in the highland region. The highland region, boys and girls, has the largest deposits of gold and diamond fields, those minerals that pork knockers mine for. Study the map of Guyana below carefully, then answer questions 9 and 10. To travel to the town at A, you have to use the something highway. A, Rupert Craig, B, Linden Soosdijk, C, Quarantine, or D, West Bank Demerara. The answer to question 9 is B, Linden Soosdijk. The town that is located where A is Linden. And of course, Linden is located in that administrative region 10, Upper Demerara, Upper Berbice. And in that region, we can find Linden. So in order for someone to travel to Linden, they must use the Linden Soosdijk Highway once they're going overland. And question 10. The mountain range shown that's the mountain range that is shown on the map. The mountain range shown is A, Pacaraima, B, Roraima, C, Emataka, or D, Kanuku. The answer to question 10 is C, Emataka. The Emataka mountain range is shown in region 1. Question 11. The average weather conditions of a place over a long period of time is called the A, seasons, B, temperature, C, atmosphere, or D, climate. The answer to question 11 is D. The average weather conditions of a place over a long period of time is called climate. Of course, the opposite of climate is weather. And so, weather is the condition of a place over a short period of time, and that would be for a week, a month, or a year. But climate is for a prolonged period like decades, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, and more. Question 12. One of the rainy seasons in Guyana usually lasts from A, mid-June to mid-August, B, mid-February to mid-April, C, mid-August to mid-November, or D, mid-November to mid-January. The answer to question 12 is D, mid-November to mid-January. That's one of the rainy seasons period, or the period when it lasts in Guyana. Of course, there are 2 rainy seasons, and the other one usually lasts from mid-May to mid-August thereabout. So boys and girls, those are the 2 rainy seasons. Study the caption below, then answer question 13. Workers are important. Which of the following persons could best improve the health standard of a community? A, district chairman, B, public health inspector, C, school teacher, or D, policeman. The answer to question 13 is B, the public health inspector. That's the worker who works in the health sector and can definitely work towards improving the health standard of the community. Question 14. A city or district council has all of the following duties except A, weeding residents' yard and gutters, B, maintaining markets and abattoirs, C, cleaning public drains and alleyways, or D, collecting and disposing of garbage. The answer is A, weeding residents' yard and gutters. Of course, a city or a district council is not responsible for weeding residents' yards and their gutters. For in individual yards or private yards, there are gutters. And so the resident or the people who live there are responsible for cleaning their yards and their gutters within. Question 15. One organization concerned with communication in the Caribbean region is the A, Caribbean Development Bank, B, Caribbean Single Market and Economy, C, Caribbean News Agency, or D, Caribbean Examination Council? The answer to question 15 is C, Caribbean News Agency. That's one of the organizations that is concerned with communication in the Caribbean region. So boys and girls, this has brought us to the end. And I am sure those of you who have gotten all correct, that's 15 out of 15, you are jumping or you're smiling or you're giving yourself a little tap. That's because you have performed excellently. If for some reason you did not get as much as 15, but you got 14 or maybe 13 or you have 12, you have done very good. So keep it up. For those who need to do some more reading, I will encourage you to keep on reading because you want to gain all correct. And remember, it's just 15 at a time. So work hard, keep on reading. And so when we meet again, let's work towards getting all correct. Until then, boys and girls, goodbye.